Oh, Christopher Hitchens has cancer. Cancer of the esophagus. He's had to cancel all the rest of his dates for his tour for his new book, Hitch 22. Interestingly, the book where it's his memoir is he constantly says during the tour that people ask him, well, isn't it too soon? And he says, well, you never know. It might, hopefully it is too soon, but you never know. Thinking something bad could happen. Anyway, so he's got to undergo chemotherapy, and of course, the Christians are cackling and pointing and gleeful about this. Anyway, this I'd like to pick on whatever one particular Christian blogger that blogs for NJ Post or NJ.com. I'm sorry. His name is George Birkin. I've never heard of this guy. Most people probably haven't either. But he wrote this article called "God is Great" to Christopher Hitchens for him giving him cancer. He says, "It seems against common sense to say this, but might I suggest that this turn of events shows that God is kind even to those who spend their lives fighting against him." Yeah, very kind. All right, okay, okay, go on. Before he elaborates, he wants to say, "Christopher Hitchens would probably hate me for saying this, or merely pity me for being a deluded rube, but I'd like to ask believers to pray for him." Okay, yeah, I did a video a little while back talking about how it's not cruel of Christians if they're trying to pray for you. Obviously, this guy is just being a contentious fucking prick. He's saying it to be a prick-faced motherfucker, and that's the only reason why he's saying it. So, in this case, is a good example of everyone who argued against me when I said that. Here's your proof that they were right on this aspect of it. He describes Hitchens' cancer as a cancer which God didn't give, but certainly permitted. The short answer to this is, if God really wanted to get Hitchens, God would just ignore the man and let him go his blissful way, unchallenged, to a peaceful death. Now, hold on 1 second. You just said God didn't give, and that's kind of odd. So you know what God does or doesn't do, like you're what in talks with him constantly, or you're the one who decides what God does. I'm not sure how that works, but God didn't give Hitchens cancer. He merely permitted it. He permitted it. Then 2 seconds later, you say, God would just ignore the man and let him go his blissful way. In other words, permit things to happen to him, unchallenged to a peaceful death. Permit, not challenge. Let him do what he wants. You're fucking contradicting yourself. How does that make any sense? Okay, this asshole goes on to say, as with many atheists, Hitchens' non-belief got its start in childhood. It's usually the other way around, man. It's people being indoctrinated, and then all of a sudden, like whatever religion they're brought into, when they become an adult, that's when reason kicks in. That's when logic begins to start working better for you. That's when most people who are atheists become atheists. To try to turn that around is silly and stupid. But he goes on to say, when he heard a religious person say something that even to a child came across as dumb, with Hitchens' mentor, it was something about the color of the sky and human eyeballs. For me, there's something inane about an adult beginning to base their adult worldview on something wacko recalled from childhood. You mean like Sunday school? You mean like Christianity? That's where you started your fucking adult worldview, although I wouldn't call it an adult one. Then he goes on to say, but now let's talk, one grown up to another. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, you've already forfeited that. You can't come out and say a bunch of stupid, childish gibberish and nonsense and then say, now let's talk one grown up to another. No, you've already negated that possibility. That one sailed, pal, because you're a dumbass. He says people do tend to wait until they're in big trouble, foxholes, or until the last minute, cancer wards, before they get serious about spirituality and end-of-life matters. You don't think that Christopher Hitchens is serious when he talks about spirituality? Why the fuck, if you obviously don't know even who this guy is, if that's what you think, why are you writing blogs about this? Why don't you go write about some passage in the Bible that makes you fucking get a boner or something like that? Or how good it makes you feel to imagine finally going to heaven and being held in Jesus' muscly arms while you stroke his fucking magnificent beard. Why don't you go talk about some shit that you know about, you fucking ignoramus? He says atheism is a fun game, and profitable too, when you're healthy, because there are no really serious consequences. Not so when you might be terminally ill, because then you're about to make an eternal bet. Yeah, Pascal's wager. I got it. How it is that you're unable to realize that you're making an eternal bet as well. You're betting against all other religions and putting your money down on Christianity. That's a bet, dude. According to the way that you look at it, that's a bet. You're betting too. Everybody bets, okay? Fuck, dude. What's the best way to go about making a bet, making a wager? Well, one way is to look at all the facts and statistics and try to put your money down on which one is true. He goes on to say, but maybe God is doing it this way because he desires that Hitchens give up his God, that is, Hitchens' pride, in being different from the run-of-the-mill mortal. You hear that? Everybody should give up being different. Everybody should give up being different from the run-of-the-mill person. Stop trying to be different, because that pisses God off. He says, maybe God is going to do it this way so that Hitchens can encounter the God he has been denying for so long, before eternity sets in. Before eternity sets in? When does that happen? Doesn't eternity set in right now? Or does eternity set in 5 minutes from now? Or did eternity start like 6 minutes ago? Eternity is eternal. It doesn't have a start, you fucking rube. Jesus Christ. He comes in with all these specific like desires for God and reasons why God does this and reasons why God does that. And of course they all line up with how he sees the world and how he thinks things are. You know what? I'm not even an atheist anymore. Fuck it, guys. I'm serious. I'm a theist. Oh, my God is Rumpelstiltskin. Okay, and now I can fucking choose everything that I like about and want the world to be. Rumpelstiltskin decreed it, and that's what he wanted. First thing that Rumpelstiltskin has decreed that I realize, oh, that's right. It's to George Birkin. Rumpelstiltskin wants you to shut the fuck up. Yeah, that was kind of another angry atheist video. I'm sorry. Next one we do, I promise, will be happier and better and kinder. We'll do one without any cursing. There'll be flowers in it and like some butterflies and all that kind of thing. So thank you for dealing with that. Chris, get better, man. I know you can beat this. This is one guy on YouTube you've never heard of that's not famous saying, dude, I hope you get better. Good luck with everything. And we'll see you on the next book, man. Peace.